Hello everyone, it's Richard back. I finally have a chance to sit down and talk about Leningrad and Vyazma. Um, what happened with this map was I had recorded everything. I was trying to upload it to YouTube, and something happened where its upload got interrupted, and a video was uploaded and I didn't realize it. So when I uploaded the same video again, YouTube won't let you upload a duplicate. And I was unable to fix this by changing names on my videos or by shortening the video length. So apparently their algorithm is pretty clever and they can recognize when people are uploading duplicate videos. But it's all good because on the first time I played this map, I actually lost a unit for a very stupid reason. And I was going to proceed to play with the lost unit. But after I realized that I couldn't show you the half of the scenario, I thought I'll just have to restart it. And then to make it go faster, I'll just play it casually. So then I can upload the whole playthrough for you and then I can go over it. So, that's why there was weird upload issues with this. Okay. So, Leningrad map. This is definitely when the Russian armor is starting to hurt. So I have to play very carefully on this map because my experienced Panzer IIIs cannot take on KVs or T-34s. So I have to play smart. Now, my plan here is very similar to a lot of plans, but I think that the way I execute it is different, and I have a different composition of forces than what you normally see. And I'm also going to make a small tweak to the plan that I think is superior to what other people do. It's a very simple-minded tweak, but it worked very well if you watch the video. But I just wanted to go over deployment. You can see I have a scout car down here. I have my scouting tank up here. Oh, 1 second. I must have started the first turn. There we go. Okay, so that's something I'll point out. Look at my scouting tanks here, the scout cars here. I find the Air Force really nasty on the Leningrad map. No one ever talks about it when they do a playthrough of it, but I find that the Air Force can really devastate your units on this map. They show up unexpectedly, and it's difficult to cover all your units. So what I've done is I've literally parked an 88 gun in front so I can protect my units. I really hate taking air damage, and he's buffed the fighters and bombers, so they can seriously damage your units, and you don't want that. So that's one weird deployment. I have my 4-spotting scouting unit here, who's going to go somewhere in this region and give me a huge vision of what's going on. I also have my 3-spotting tank and my 3-spotting cavalry. The cavalry is just around so I can get it some kills. It's not strictly speaking necessary, but I feel comfortable sending this cavalry on this part of the map. Whoa, sorry, 1 second. Oh, right, I'm not actually in the scenario. Anyway, so the plan is simple. I'm going to send units I want to get experience this way. It's a lot safer. I can kind of grind my way to a lot of kills. I can seize plenty of objectives. So I have this Panzer IV that's pretty new that I want to get some experience. I don't want to send my Krotchitson into heavy combat, and I don't want to send my cavalry unit into heavy combat. And I also brought a Weimar infantry with me. I don't remember what happens to him. I thought he went this way. And I'm also going to send... yeah. So I have plenty of infantry. You can count up the artillery. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And I have 2 level bombers. So I have 18 artillery pieces on this scenario. And I really feel like I need all of my artillery pieces. So you're going to see me pummel critical points over and over again with artillery just so I can overwhelm it. It's also effective for suppressing tanks. If you have enough artillery, eventually you can suppress those tanks. I'm going to keep my Panzer IVs away from heavy action because they can't handle tank warfare. The other little tweak I've made to the traditional plan is I'm going to scout ahead. I also have an all-terrain vehicle on this unit. He has trucks. He has trucks. And I know there's an armored group waiting for me over here. So I'm sending everybody with huge mobility to the east, and they're going to stake out a claim in close terrain, and then I'm going to try to bait the AI into attacking me. Now, I don't think that's particularly original. What's a little bit different is I outflank the enemy quite literally in the south, and then I start a steamroll effect where I just plow forward all the way. It seems to be very effective, and it's pretty efficient. And I will also have a small detachment go in the middle and just clean those units up. So that's all that's really happening. We can I brought all my fighters and my fighter bomber, and I brought Rudel. I don't think I brought my other tactical bomber. So we could fast forward to... Hang on, let's see what's going on here. Oh, I set my 88 gun here because they can see one of my tanks, but they can't see the 88 gun. See, they can see this tank because of this guy. So I'm hoping there's a tank that comes here and it says hello to my 88 gun. You'll see that I use a lot of artillery. I actually refresh my artillery turn 1, and then I send my artillery forward. There's a lot more space for that because I've moved all my units. And I also just split them evenly between 2 groups. But you're going to see like an insane amount of artillery all in one spot. You can see I've kind of snuck over to the east. It's also raining, which I'm exploiting. And I'm going to sneak over to the east and build a wall. And then I'm going to bait the AI into attacking me. So the AI is doing stuff. Yeah, you can start to see the strategy. Yeah, and you're going to see that I pummel the hell out of this KV. And you can see that I have a lot of artillery. And the artillery has one job. It's to suppress that KV. And with 2 level bombers, I can seriously lay on the suppression. So I basically almost took out the KV. I had to take like 3 artillery shots before I killed it, but I eventually killed it. And then there's a KV in a major city hex, so he's not going to come out. And then I have to worry about this KV. So if we fast forward a bit, you can see, look at all of this artillery. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 artillery pieces, and I'm just going to overwhelm the enemy. And I can also exploit... They don't have a lot of vision, actually. So I think I did something clever here. Let's fast forward. I pulled that tank out because I want the Panzer IV in the woods. I only did that because these tanks are very weak, and I have a Stug backing them up. I'm already... You can see I'm just taking pot shots endlessly on the KV tanks. Let's fast forward a bit. I got lucky on the Air Force because they didn't actually damage core units. And then I think this KV moves up. Oh, yeah, yeah. This is a great trap. It's coming soon. Unfortunately, Rudel didn't damage that tank enough, so I'm going to take damage here. Let's... Yeah, here. Oh, he's trying to sneak around, and I blocked it. Here it comes. So the tank goes in the woods, and I get really, really lucky here, because I was expecting to take damage, but I didn't, because I got a rugged defense. But the point isn't, you know, how awesome my artillery is. The point is that the tank is in the woods. So I have some clever plans for that. Well, not clever plans, but I want to kill the tank in the woods. You know, I'm resorting to cheap tricks to try to, like, get rid of these KV tanks. I can't actually get rid of it yet because there's all this garbage around, but I have a plan. If I fast forward to here... Okay, almost... That tank's in the city. That's easy to deal with. Here. So, I think I'm getting to the point... Nope, I have to kill those units still. 1 second. So as you can see, I've suppressed everything, and I've pushed it all back, and I basically have wiped out this defensive line. Very, very clean. And that's because I have so much artillery. It's the goose rule. When in doubt, get more artillery. And especially with Deductors mod, these units are hard. Here's a trap I'm about to set. Watch this. What I'm trying to do is the KV tank is going to prioritize easy to destroy targets. So I'm going to take auxiliary units I don't care about, and I'm going to throw them forward behind artillery protection. And I think all the fighters are gone, so... no, there's one fighter left, that's right. You can see I'm building my defensive line, and I'm going to set my trap soon. But I have to bring a wall of artillery over. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got like 6, you know, artillery pieces. We could fast forward a bit. Yep, you can see I moved my artillery up. This tank can see it, and that tank is going to feel like it's got to go deeper into the woods. He won't attack this because he sees that unit. And the fighter, of course, sees this easy target and attacks it. And I'm more than happy to see that. Here comes the KV. I think this is a semi-clever trap, because it's just making it easier for me to kill him. And these are auxiliary units. Their job is mostly done at this point. I've broken the line, and the rest of it's just digging units out on that side. Let's fast forward. Here, yeah, so... Oh, no, I'm not quite there yet. I took out the fighter. Let's fast forward. Oh, I got a beautiful surrender there. I got 27 prestige. Yeah, you can see, I don't think a single core unit took damage here. That is very careful planning. Okay. Now, this part of the battle is no longer interesting. All that's left is digging out all these units in one counterattack on this side. And then they pull back to the middle. And I basically wiped this group out in 5 turns. That's really efficient. But now, this side. So watch what I do here. My plan is very simple. I'm going to swing units around. Well, first of all, I have to bait the armor out. I have to be careful. But I end up just setting up this wall that just pushes forward. So this tank has double artillery protection. This Stug has triple artillery protection, and it's totally within vision range, so this is bait. I want them to attack my Stug, not my tank. And then I stick this guy here. And he actually has a reasonable close defense value, and it's backed by 2 artillery pieces. So it's not a helpless unit, and it's also 3 stars. So it should be able to handle these T-34s and so on. So let us fast forward a bit. And here they come. So this guy attacked my Stug. Only did 1 damage because of all the artillery. This guy attacks. Let's see how it goes. And I take no damage. That's really good. And then a 3rd tank comes forward. This is really good. Like, you know, I'm pulling all of this armor forward. It accelerates the collapse of this pocket. Or not pocket, but this front. I even get a rugged defense here. But I unfortunately took a point of damage. But how about that? My scout car took on 2 T-34s and only took 1 point of damage. So I think that part of my plan worked out really well. That was another trap. I knew that this infantry could see this, but I had parked an artillery behind it. I actually set a lot of traps on this map. I think it's necessary. So I think I forced some surrenders here. Yeah, this guy went down. I hit him with my scout car and he did no damage, but fully suppressed unit. I think I had to hit this guy with 4 artillery units. Or 3 artillery units before it was fully suppressed. And now this is the next unit that's going down. I think this unit's suppressed almost. Look at this wall. Just a huge wall and all of this artillery everywhere. This is the cleanest destruction of these units I've ever seen. And it's all about, basically it's all about send as much artillery over there as possible. And then get those tanks in close terrain. So I think I'm going to force another surrender, which means that on this side there's only going to be 3 tanks left. And I have plenty of power coming. So I think I forced a surrender there. Yep. I'm doing some rearranging. And now this whole middle area is ripe for me. Let me fast forward. You can see that now I want to take this out and then proceed up. I have 2 artillery pieces for this region. I don't really have a lot to say. This ends up going really cleanly too. Let's fast forward. I'm still moving around. Yeah, I mean this is the AI doesn't know what to do. It could attack my infantry, but I think Rudel takes that out. Let's fast forward. I broke this group. Yeah, this tank is gone. This entire group is about to collapse. Let's fast forward. But you could see the steamroll effect is happening here. I've totally outflanked them from the south, and I just plan to shove everything forward. And there's like there's no serious resistance left. It's just a bunch of infantry everywhere. And because I'm using the goose method of bring a freaking ton of artillery and blast away, all of these entrenched units just get suppressed and destroyed. And it's actually a little bit easier for me when they have some entrenchment because they won't retreat. So yeah, this is piece of cake. You see this trick, I go up, grab the hex, pull out, this infantry unit will then move in. And that just makes it easy for me to attack it again. Yeah, this entire wall of infantry, you can see that I'm about to just break out. If we fast forward, yep, I'm really making good progress. I took I took 2 points of damage from a weak tank. It was just a really bad roll. That kind of cracked me up. Let's fast forward. I did some nice stug action. I always was moving my stug up ahead to attack. That's what, if you don't use stugs, you really should use them, and you should learn to use them properly. And the best way to learn to use them properly is to just throw them into combat, and then figure out how to position your troops to cover your stug. You'll see me often throw my stug without artillery protection into combat, because I know it has a high ground defense, and if I know that the unit attacking it isn't that great, then I think the odds are pretty good that he won't take damage. Some people think that's basic, like a basic thing to know, but I think that it's easy to learn how to use a stug. It's hard to master, and I didn't really get how the stug worked until I watched Deducter's videos, because I think he's probably the best at using them. And after watching his videos, I kind of started to fall in love with the stug because I realized what it could do. It is limited by its one range fire, but oh man, that was devastating. This little just walked right into an 88 gun. But you see, I'm doing it here. I send the stug here and I hit him, and then I must be sending my tank. Yeah, I got a tank here. And then I send a tank here to protect my stug. And then I put a cavalry unit here to protect from this direction. And then I offered bait that I knew was in vision range, because I want this tank not to be attacked. I want this to be attacked. But look at this artillery. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 pieces of artillery. It is gross. But that's why this map was this map is still challenging, but if you get the deployment right and you set the traps right, once you break the initial defense, generally it's not that hard to get the decisive victory. The question's just how much damage do you take? And I think that I would take a lot of damage if I didn't have 18 artillery pieces, basically. This is a map that I think needs a lot of artillery. So, yep, you see this clever movement with my stug. Just send it ahead. I don't really have much to say. If I fast forward this is totally collapsed. I took a little bit of damage here. What I should mention, the first time I played the map, I dropped paratroopers here, and it was fine. And then on turn 19, the AI bought a scout car here, or turn 18, they bought a scout car there, and I didn't notice it really. I wasn't thinking about the fact that it was a scout car, and so I was just proceeding to wipe everything out on the map without thinking about it. And then these 2 tanks came out and killed my paratroopers. So, like, you know, I could have easily flown them in a plane at any point, because they were sitting there for like 6 turns. But I just left them there because I thought that the map was over. I was just cleaning up. But because of the scout car, they could see my paratroopers, and it was bad. So there's that. I don't have a lot to say. It's really just cleanup. Once you break that counterattack over here, you can see that I'm just squeezing them everywhere. Yep, this is all going down. This is just artillery suppression. So let's move on to Vyazma. Right here. What do I have to say about this map? Okay, so I had a plan to try to use bridge engineers on this map, but I happened to know what the layout was in this region. I was planning to put bridge engineers here and then cross and force with armor. However, this plan is a terrible idea because there's a bunch of infantry spaced out in this region. And if I don't bring any infantry with me, I can't break out. If I bring infantry with me, the problem is the KV tanks parked over here scoot on south and they blast my infantry. And I guarantee you it will be a bad experience. I will probably lose 3 units on the first turn if I tried something crazy like that. So I realized there's no way to use bridge engineers. It's just not possible because I can't get the composition of forces right to force a breakthrough out here. And I feel like I would get so bogged down approaching Vyazma this way that I would get a serious slowdown when the armored counterattack comes from here. I'll put it this way. There might be a way to use the bridge engineers, but I don't think it's more efficient than the traditional plan. So you can see that I brought 5 artillery up north. I've got a couple scouting units. I brought my paratroopers. The paratroopers' goals are to take Moscow because it's really difficult to take Moscow if you try to do it the traditional way, and it's not guaranteed to work either. Even worse. So the way a lot of people use is they send paratroopers back there. Now, I don't think that's necessarily a crazy plan. Hitler might have even have tried it in this operation if there hadn't been that disaster at Crete. Basically, they lost a ton of paratroopers at Crete, and the German army commanders were basically like, no way can we ever use paratroopers like that again. And the paratroopers were basically sent into the German armies as elite infantry. So actually, in my corps, I have a couple of paratrooper units, and that's not totally crazy, because depending on what division you're in, you might actually have a paratrooper group. I think of them as corps units, though, not as division units. So there's that plan. If it had gone a little bit better for me, I would have wiped out some of this infantry and grabbed this objective. But it didn't work out for me. So I had a little bit of a disaster here that affected me late, very late, because I was unable to take this objective. They spawned some tanks and they attacked some of my units back here I didn't want attacked. It wasn't a huge disaster, but it was it's an expensive one. You're gonna see, if you watch the playthrough, you'll see that I take a lot of damage on this map, but I carefully orchestrate it so that the damage is evenly distributed between most of my units. So I always have an effective fighting force. So this is another map where I have reserve units, they get beat up, I pull them off the line, and then I send in another wave. And it worked really, really well. But that means when I do Moscow, what it means is I have a huge repair bill. But it's difficult to avoid a huge repair bill on this map. It's just the only way to avoid it is a little bit of luck with weather and over strengthening everything. But I can't do that. It's too expensive. Hold that thought, because in the next scenario, that's when I start breaking the bank. Because in the next scenario, I can't avoid over strengthening anymore. Just because it's risky to do that. It's very dangerous in the streets of Moscow to not overstrengthen units. But on this map, I don't have to overstrengthen anything. What it does mean is I have to carefully orchestrate things so that the damage is distributed across my units. Yeah, I bought some Pioneers here, brand new ones. That's what you should know. I bought brand new Pioneers. I did it because I know that I need them for Moscow. I know that I'm going to need Pioneers for Sevastopol Assault. And I know I'm going to need Pioneers for Stalingrad. And if I don't get a movement +1 hero, then I just have to buy Pioneers with a truck. And that's what I did. And now I'm going to have to deploy him every scenario and try to get his experience up. So, as far as like general strategy, you'll see I have my all-terrain infantry here with my half-track scout car. These guys, through the bad weather, will help seize this and then rejoin my forces to protect my flanks. And I think they later on take this. And I did that because I know the weather's going to be bad. This is why having a diverse group of units is helpful. As far as my southern group, their objective is to just snuggle up real close here, deal with these units, deal with the counterattack. I will then do a multiple split here. I need to send just enough units south to take this objective. Then I need to send enough units here to take this objective. And then I need to send everybody I can spare to take this objective. And hopefully, I think Vyazma here fell in 15 turns for me. And that was really good. That was the best Vyazma I ever had. But it's because I squeezed it from both sides, but it wasn't simultaneous. This northern group always gets beat up. I've never seen anyone play this map and not take some serious damage with their northern group. There is so many heavy-hitting tanks. I don't even know if you can avoid it. And obviously with Deductor's mod, it's a fool's errand. And then the southern group has an easier time, but what I do is I very aggressively push up, backed up by my Stug and some artillery, and then I try to bait units into attacking me, and if they don't attack me, then I go crazy. I go hog wild, and I just start attacking Vyazma every way I can. And it worked really well, but I did take a lot of damage. That tends to be my approach to a lot of the more complex maps. If I'm underpowered, like this is a map where the German armor is not capable in bad weather of fighting KVs and T-34s. That's just the reality of this combat at the time. And the Germans knew that, which is why it was stupid for them to even think to keep pushing, because they just didn't have the supplies. And I'm sure Lieutenant Joker will talk more about that. And I really like this battle for just demonstrating the helplessness of the German position. The first time I tried to play this, it was the worst weather I'd ever had in a scenario, and it's worse than anything I've ever seen with any other player. The first 10 turns, I did not have a single clear day. 6 of the first 10 turns were rain. 8 of the first 10 turns were muddy. And only the first turn, one of the 2 turns that was not muddy was the first turn. So imagine you play the first 10 turns and you don't get a single clear day, and 8 of the 10 turns it's muddy. And I cannot get a decisive victory. I mean, you can't. I don't care how good of a player you are. When it's muddy all the time, you're not going anywhere. Yeah, that's I didn't have great weather here, but at least I got a couple of clear days, and it makes a difference to get a couple of clear early days, because you can at least mop up the Air Force a little bit. I don't even know when I destroyed the Air Force on this one. Maybe turn 10. So I had something like 4 cloudy days on the first 10 turns. So you can imagine what a disaster that was for my Air Force. That's just something to keep in mind. This is the only map in the entire Grand Campaign where I would say you cannot plan around the weather. because no matter how clever you are with your troop deployment and no matter what your core composition is, if you low roll bad weather, you cannot get a decisive victory. And I'm not joking when I say that, because if you're in mud all the time, you can't move your troops forward. Not to mention, if there's a lot of rain, the initiative advantage of the Germans is gone. So you could attack when it's raining, but it's almost certainly going to be a disaster if you do. So this is the one map where I would say the RNG matters more than anything else. It matters more than your skill level. It matters more than your core composition. Like, you know, when Deducter did his map, I guarantee you if the first 10 turns he had no clear days and 8 of the 10 turns were muddy, he would not have gotten a decisive victory. I don't remember if he mentioned that or not, but he thought this scenario wasn't that hard, but I disagree with him. I think it's frustrating, but it's realistic. I think this is kind of what it was like with the German army. They're basically told, you know, seize Moscow, and the roads are total crap, and they can't move, and you know the Germans or the Russians are counterattacking. So it's not that easy. So let's move forward. I used the bad weather to send my paratroopers ahead. See, this is bait. I want this guy to attack, and I don't think he did. That's because that's a major objective. That's why he didn't attack. I wiped him out. Do I have anything else to say about this map? I used Rudel to take out this tank. Let's fast forward. Not a lot happens for a while because of the bad weather. You could see I'm not really getting clear days. I think I got a lot more clear days in the second half, but unfortunately that wasn't as beneficial as in the first half. You know, welcome to Panzer Corps. Let's see here. Oh yeah, I got it. I sent my high initiative mountain units up here, and they just wrecked this guy. So I was able to take that on turn 4. Let's fast forward. Yep. This is going very well. You can see I'm not taking that much damage. I also have my Air Force over here. This is going very well. You can see I'm guarding my back door. I want to make sure nobody tries to sneak in and hit my artillery. Oh boy, this looks like a minefield of death right here. Yeah, this is tricky. I need these guys to pull up. I set a trap here at some point. I didn't set a trap. I did something strategically wise. Let's fast forward. Yeah. Yeah, I have a lot of artillery. I'm just waiting. Ah, here it is. This is the first thing I did. This Panzer IV is bait. Basically, I need to clean up this northern group with my heavy hitters, and then there's a bunch of strong units that are going to come this way. This tank is ultimately useless for me in this scenario. It's a Panzer IV. Before I can even get into anything the Panzer IV is good at killing, there's a bunch of armor. So there's just no point in hoping that this Panzer IV is going to get productive combat time. So what I do with it is I send it out here, and I want this tank to get attacked, to absorb blows for me, while my heavy hitting units do other things. Let's see how that goes. That was a disaster. This was an ambush. That must have been what happened, and that was really good. Let's fast forward. Yep, you can see I cleaned this up. He has defense +2, so he'll probably be okay in the woods. Let's see. Ah, here's more units are coming. And Rudel is helping to take out some of them. I think my tank gets beat up at some point. Yeah, you can see I'm kind of advancing everybody. I need to deflect this armored group. Oh yeah, okay, this is the first clever thing that I did. we're gonna see an interesting sequence here. So I took out the tank. That's good. But the problem is my Stug is extremely exposed, and I have to be worried about this guy. So I blocked access to him from this way, so somebody has to sneak in here. I don't want my Stug damaged because it's the artillery piece protecting my armor. So I do something clever. I stick my artillery piece here within vision range because of this guy. It has to be in vision range or this tank is going to go up here and hit my Stug. But I backed it up with 2 artillery pieces. And we'll see how that goes. Let's fast forward. Okay. So this is yeah, the AI is going. So let's see how my plan works out. So here comes a nasty KV tank. But it looks like I got enough suppression that my artillery piece is okay. This is probably really dangerous in retrospect. Because I could have I'm trying to think. I don't know how to handle that because my Stug was so far ahead. Maybe the mistake was that I shouldn't have put the Stug that far ahead, but I needed to put the Stug that far ahead to take out the armor. This is just one of those maps where every decision you make is bad. But this worked out for me really well because he sent a weaker tank to attack it. And now he can't attack it anymore. I plan on pulling it out. Oh, a beautiful ambush. Because conscripts can't see. Let's fast forward. So yeah, now I need to clean up the armor. The good news is I have an 88 gun, and I send it south. So if we fast forward... Oh yeah, I'm finally working on Moscow. So I realized I needed to put armor back there, so I put my Panzer IV back there. So my Panzer IV, I need this Panzer IV to hold the line while I clean up this region, and then I will send my armor back south. So in my experience, it's better for the Panzer IVs to take the damage because they're not the tank killers. And then later on, the Panzer IIIs go toe-to-toe with the armor. But you need multiple waves of armor to be taken care of for you by other units, so that way you're not exhausted by the time you deal with the final wave of armor. As you can see, I have plenty of armor still left to deal with. Yep, they can't quite break this. Let's fast forward. See, I can't break out yet. I have to take care of all of this. I also have some very bad weather at critical moments, but that is what I have artillery for. We can fast forward from here. Yep, so this tank is not going to be a problem. He does attack my Stug, but my Stug is still functional. It's fine. So once again, I'm hoping my Panzer IV holds his own. And this is where it's like, oh, you know, my Panzer IV can no longer hold his own. I know that there's another one of these guys back there. But it held the line long enough, right? I've cleared a huge chunk of the north. And my 88 gun sneaking south. Oh yeah, that was nasty. A cavalry unit walked into Oladir It was an ambush, and it went very poorly for that cavalry. This is great. So my 88 guns arrived. So this is what I love about my strategy, is all I have to do is hold the line. If I hold the line long enough for the 88 gun to arrive, it's game over. Because this 88 gun is going to wreck units. And you can see that it just destroyed a tank there. Now I have more armor. I do wipe this out. This isn't that interesting. Next I'm trying to break out. In order to take out one of the tanks, I had to put my 88 gun in the woods. Now, I thought they couldn't see the 88 gun because it was raining, but he moved the cavalry unit north and then spotted him. That's what happened. But my 88 gun's taking damage is kind of expected. This was a stupid attack. I should have attacked with this guy first. Let's just say that the way I handled this area could have been improved quite a bit. But yeah, I basically have wiped out most of the northern group, and now I can start outflanking. This KV gets wiped out. Now that this line is broken, I can now proceed piecemeal. I have armor still. So normally what happens to people that play this map is they aggressively use their Panzer IIIs to go toe-to-toe with the armor. But the problem is there's so much armor that your Panzer IIIs get beaten up, and then you have to use elite replacements on them. Instead, I use units that are not that helpful for the battle. I throw them up front. They get badly damaged, like this artillery piece and this tank. And they hold the line just long enough for my Panzer IIIs to swing back south. Yeah, I actually skipped this little region because I need to accelerate the collapse of everywhere else. Let's fast forward. Oh yeah, this is another trap. They saw the artillery piece. Another tank is going to go down. Man, those 88 guns, if you get those 88 guns in the thick of things, they make your life a lot easier. And then I take Moscow this turn. And it's interesting, that's the only point in which these units activate. Let's fast forward. Now you can see I'm starting to aggressively assault Vyazma from this direction. This is a good thing. I have fresh units. I have units that can take damage. I want those units to pull this way so my northern group can hit them. I think it worked out pretty well. This was unfortunate that I took 2 damage. That was not part of the plan. But I wanted to kill that tank just to open up a path for another tank to go in there. And then I aggressively have to take this. I don't have time to waste. Let's fast forward. Yep, I need to take out their eyes. Let's fast forward. Yeah, it's turn 12. The breakout's happening now. It's a little tight for... I didn't get all the objectives I wanted to, but I could have gotten them if I had handled Moscow better. And that's on me, but that's okay. I still have 10,000 prestige, so... Let's fast forward. This is the last of this group up here. I had to send this here because Rudel would have fallen out of the sky if I didn't seize that airfield. So I take 2 points of damage there. Yeah, it's looking good. I need to clear this. I'm starting to make my move for the final objective here. But I think I already have the KV tank. He's going to block this hex that I didn't take down here. Yeah, and then I parked my paratroopers here thinking I could kill these guys, and then I didn't kill them. If I had killed these guys, the paratroopers could have come out and snapped that spot and prevented the BT spam. But I did not do that. Yep, I took the 2 damage here. I have to retreat now. But you can see I get very aggressive. I even got so aggressive my stud got beat up. But now I can assault all of this hardware all at once. And this position collapses very quickly. That tends to be my approach with these tricky maps, is I just want to be super aggressive when the chance arises. I have armor that's... These tanks are now damaged from my attacks, but there's not much left. That's the important point. Yeah, my tanks are damaged, my artillery's damaged, infantry's damaged, my 88 guns are getting damaged, but there's not much left. So this is good use of my resources. I mean, look at this. Even the infantry is starting to clear out. I blocked that hex. Now all that's left is a nasty T-34, which I think I take care of. Yeah, I even took this tank out so my Oladir could go in and start whacking on this guy. The whole position is just collapsed. I do have damage all over the place, though. But it's the end of the scenario. This is a good... You know, that's the way it's supposed to be on these hard ones. And then I'm beginning... I have to push pretty hard here. I gotta block him from buying things there. Gotta take this infantry out so I have freedom of movement. Yeah, this whole position is toast. Let's move forward. Yep. Even my other 88 gun took some damage. That's okay. I think there was a counterattack here, and then I'm about to wipe it out. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 artillery pieces here. Let's see. And then some bad things happen at the last second over here. I'd done a good job taking care of my cavalry, but I made a mistake here. The mistake was sending my cavalry forward. I should have sent my Panzer IV, who can actually handle some armored combat, and then this cavalry could have cleaned this up later. The BT spam starts. Yep. And I was trying to get this objective. I could have gotten this objective, but I was a little slow. I forgot to send my Air Force down there. Yeah, I made a bunch of rookie moves here. So there's about 3 objectives that I should have taken that I didn't because I was not thinking very well. I think the hits on my cavalry start... Yeah. A tank came out, hit my cavalry. And on turn 20, another tank came out and hit my cavalry. Alright, that's what I have to say about this. I mean, I got the decisive at the end of the day. Yeah, I mean, I got the decisive. I wanted to... go over... I wanted to show you the aftermath of the battle, and then what's going on with Prestige, and how I'm thinking on elite replacements for Moscow. So let's do that. Oh, I must not have saved it. Huh. Okay. I must not have saved. Huh. What are the two choices here? Order all units to withdraw. Oh, order all units to withdraw. Okay. I thought it said order all units into Moscow. Okay. Oh, I should upgrade, probably. Oh my god, it's got 4 ammo. I have to upgrade. Yeah, I wanted to talk about that. How much prestige do I have? Watch what happens here. Let me give him elite replacements. I'm going to sell it. I have 11,569 prestige. And I'm not going to have that much prestige when I get done. He doesn't need elite. He's still 2 stars. He definitely needs elite. He's getting elite because 3-star... Those guys at 3 stars is really good. They get elite. So you can see I was at 11,700, I think. And it's going to fall pretty quickly. He's not even 1 star, so regular 60 prestige is what it cost me because I misplayed with this guy. 71 for this guy. Yeah, I have to give him 70 for my tank. He's 2 stars now. That's good. See how my prestige is rapidly falling? Yep, elite replacements. He's not 3 stars. We don't need to elite replace him. He is 3 stars. He's okay. He can take regular. He's not my range +1, so that's okay. Regular. He's going to be 2 stars soon enough, and that will be fine. My Stugs are not the star of the show here. I'm not too worried about my 88s because they're almost 3 stars. They're going to get that pretty quick. He's still 3 stars. Okay. So I've already spent 650 or so. Is that right? I think I was at 11,700. So about 650 prestige. And that was only elite replacements. That was it. I saw an upgrade I need to do. This guy, absolutely. Oh yeah. The biggest reason I want him upgraded is the upped ammo count. And look at the fuel. Oh my god. I need this. I need this. Can he be upgraded? He can. Wait a minute, I could have upgraded him? Oh my god, okay. That's why he's been sucking. I'm a total idiot. I needed to upgrade him. You could tell I haven't been playing the most intelligently. Oh my god, there's another upgrade. Oh yeah. Yeah, but if there's a time to do upgrades, the Battle of Moscow is definitely the battle to do it for. I think they're all Panzer IF-1. Yeah. So watch what's happening to my prestige. I've dropped 1,000 prestige. I haven't even overstrengthened yet. It is time to upgrade these tanks. They have slightly better defenses, and that stuff matters. This is actually really cheap. fuel is not that important. The higher ground defense is important. J. Okay. I hope I didn't miss an upgrade on scouts. Actually, no, I don't care. I don't want to upgrade my scouts. Okay. What was I thinking? Okay, I think that's all the upgrades. I don't think there is another one. Okay, so it looks like I've spent 1,000 prestige on elite replacements and upgrades. Next, these guys need to be overstrengthened. I should slow that down. So look how expensive this is. 26 for 1 point. Gonna give him another one. If I upgrade him a third, it's 53. It's super expensive. It's wild. These guys, I don't even know if I can afford to upgrade them. But these guys have to be upgraded. 27. See that? 41. 55. So I'm going to do it, though, because my infantry needs it. These two guys are not even coming with me into the city. Look at that. 36 prestige. It's absurd how expensive it is. But the big daddies of the show are these guys. So 53 for second tier. Yeah, I'm spending not that one. The range +1, look at this. 35, 53. So I'm spending a ton of prestige to upgrade my artillery. All of them are going to go up a couple because I need the artillery to be strong. Not this guy, he's too expensive. It's 70 to give him one upgrade. I don't think I'm upgrading these guys either, or my Stugs. Does he have a... Oh yeah, there is the German, but that's stupid. It's 67. How much? 29. Oh. He's actually slightly cheaper. Okay, so I'm upgrading those guys. Rudel is going to cost 100. Do you guys see that nonsense? 100 prestige to upgrade him. 100 just for the third level. It's gross. It's crazy that it's going to cost that much. So I might upgrade these guys. Like, I probably will, actually. 10. Yeah, it costs 26 prestige, so I will do that. The infantry definitely needs it. Look at this. 40. It's 40 prestige to upgrade him. Where this one is 25. So that's wild. So I was at, what was it, 11,700, and look at how much prestige I've spent. I would love to upgrade, like, this tank is 42. This one, 36. This one, 32. Yeah, I can't afford to upgrade them. These scout cars are pretty expensive as well. So, just to give you a snapshot on why I play a certain way, I can't overstrengthen. I look at the standard overstrengthened procedure I used, and I dropped like 900 prestige. And I haven't even hit tier 3 or tier 4 upgrades. I honestly don't know if I can afford to do that. So this is it. The big difference between me and Deducter is he does all these upgrades every scenario, and it like bankrupts him, and that sets up problems later where he doesn't quite have the prestige that he needs to efficiently deal with a map. And it's really risky, so he ends up... He does get a decisive victory almost every scenario, but I feel like it's not smart prestige management. Before Moscow, I don't think you need to do this, is my point. So this Rudel guy, I dropped 100 freaking prestige on him. I cannot leave him unescorted. Anyway, that's what I have to say for tonight. At some point, probably next weekend, I will attempt to play this scenario. It is going to be really, really hard. So that's what I have to say for now.